Hello, we are Geeks Assembled, and this week myself and Susan are sitting down to talk about a 2006 fantasy movie. Oh, look, Susan's got the same cover as mine.
Yep.
Uh, it's Eragon. As far as I know, this was supposed to be the first installment of a movie franchise, which for some reason didn't take off. Pardon
It's
the
a
pun.
it's a book series. It's a book series written by this one kid.
Yeah, I've seen comments of the movie saying that the fans of the books weren't too happy with the movie because it sort of didn't stick to the source material. Um, Changing things here, changing things there. But as I say, as far as I know, this was supposed to be the first installment of a movie franchise as
Mhm.
well. That's how it, why it ended that way. But not to be. So it's a story of a young farmhand who he's, given this, well, what should we say? This not a task, but to look after an egg, which turns out to be a dragon egg. The dragons, and the dragon riders of all a thing of the past because of this evil king who saw to that. So this is a beginning of the. It's like Phoenix, Phoenix from the ashes, isn't it? Story. The dragons are rising again to defeat the evil. So we'll go over to Susan and see what her opening thoughts is on Eragon.
Yeah, there was a whole book series done in the 60s and 70s and 80s, all about the dragon riders, and that they were written by a different author, and I think they were called Dragonlance or Dragon Riders, maybe Dragon Riders from the Dragonlance series. Anyway, a really epic science fiction series like that was all about that. And this was this was one that was obviously inspired by those. The book was obviously inspired by those, but it was written from a young person's perspective, not sort of a third person omniscient perspective. This is written from the perspective of the young dragon rider. Uh, and Saphira was the name of the dragon, and Eragon was the name of the rider. And so, yeah, I just think that this was a pretty great movie when I saw it. I don't know why it flopped so hard. I don't know why these two movies that we're reviewing this weekend really did jack squat at the theaters. And so, years later, you just wonder why in the hell didn't they do better? But this one was one of the ones where, yours truly was starting to form a fandom of Robert Carlyle, and he played such a good baddie in this one. I mean, the character was fantastic. And yeah, it just blows my mind how good he is at playing bad characters, playing evil characters. I mean, he's just so talented because he himself is just a wee fellow, and he's just very, very erudite and super talented and super friendly and emotionally available for fans, and all these things that are just completely the opposite of what he plays on screen so many times, like Rumpelstiltskin, and like this um great sorcerer named Durza, and Durza's tied to the apron strings, or the dragon tail of Galbatorix, played by John Malkovich. And John Malkovich in this played his portrayal was really awesome as a bad guy too. And so I really like the villains. If you really like the villains, you should fucking watch the movie, because that's the truth. That's what you got to do. And so, what the hell is your problem, guys? You should fucking go watch this movie. God damn it! And I like the story. I like where it starts. I like how it goes. I like that it was written by a teenager. I mean, novels written by teenagers. Come on. I mean, it's just amazing, right? Right? So good. And yeah, and then the other thing that's really great about this story is the fact that the dragons are badasses. They have they are breathing fire and smoke, and I don't know what the one that Galbatorix rides, because I didn't read the second book. I only read the first book because I was only interested in reading what I'd read about the character Durza. Okay, be honest, it was all about Durza. But I'd like to continue. And yeah, anyway, I knew I'd get a chuckle out of that, admitting that, but yeah, darn right. It's a good. It is. If you watch the movie first and then you read the book, you're going to be okay. If you read the book first and then watch the movie, maybe that's not such a satisfying experience. But do it the way I suggest. Come on, do it the way I suggest. It's a good way. And anyway, Jeremy Irons is in this, and another way we can describe this weekend, besides the weekend of things that didn't go up as high in the charts as we thought they were, is an Alan Young Armstrong, Loon Armstrong appreciation weekend, because he plays big time in both of these movies that we reviewed this weekend. Alun Armstrong he's a fabulous actor, and he's just done so many fantasy things. He's great at fantasy. As much as Robert Carlyle's great at villains, Alan Armstrong is great at fantasy. And yeah, so that was really enjoyable, seeing him in both of these films. And yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much all my opening thoughts. Go ahead, Lee. What's yours?
Well, as I said in the opening, a lot of fans of the books were disappointed with the movie. And maybe that was the backlash from it, that it never continued with a sequel. It's a fun watch, but there's nothing new for me in this. You know, I know people say, well, what can you do with a sword and sorcery movie what hasn't been done before? But in the times of the what do you call it, the Hobbit, and stuff like that, the Fellowship of the Ring, and Lord of the Rings, epic sword and sorcery fantasy saga.
Mm-hmm.
And if this is what they want to build on, to start this installment with this one, there was not much there.
But they
Um,
kept
I'm not knocking that.
listen, they kept the baddie alive at the end. They kept Galbatorix alive and his dragon at the end. So
Yeah, they didn't use John Malkovich that much in the movie. He was only in a what
because
two or
it
three
was all
scenes.
being done by Robert Carlyle. Oh my God, Lee, come
Yeah,
on.
but and in the age of this is 2006, so you've got the Lord of the Rings special effects and stuff like that. The dragon CGI was awful. What's the dragon called? Saphira.
Saphira, played by
It wasn't.
Rachel
It didn't.
Weisz.
Yeah, I mean all the other effects in the movie, the battle scenes and everything like that was brilliantly done. But for me, the dragon, it looked to me, it looked to me like a Pixar How to Train Your Dragon. You know what I mean? Uh, uh, that was just my little. I thought, well, the CGI is not very good on that. Um, and also as well, having Rachel Weisz voice, it didn't suit the dragon. Uh, the voice, because it was going into battle, it was doing this, it was doing that, and she just had this soft voice, calming voice, and I'm thinking in my head I was thinking that doesn't sound like a dragon voice. Not that I know any dragons what talk, because they're not real, but the performances in it, I agree with you. Robert Carlyle was eating the scenery every time he was on screen, um, which is hard to do when you're sharing the screen with John Malkovich, because he can eat the
No.
scenery too. But he was very subtle in this.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he, as you say, Alan Armstrong as Eragon's uncle, not in it much before he's push up the daisies,
Mm-hmm.
but and you've got Ed Speliers as Aragon, and I knew the name, but then it came to me halfway through. I thought, oh yes, it's Jack Crusher from Picard. So, but this was his first movie, so he
Yeah,
was quite young.
long time.
So
Yeah.
yeah, but for me, the story there was just nothing what grabbed me in the story. It was of an old dragon rider um, teaching a young apprentice to become the next dragon rider. With Jeremy Irons. Um, I mean, Jeremy Irons is a brilliant, brilliant actor, but he always keeps cropping up in these movies what you don't expect him to be in, and you sometimes think, what a waste of a talent. He's the one who chooses to do these movies. But apart from those gripes and everything like that, it's still a fun watch. Once the action, because the action doesn't start until further along in the movie. Um, but yeah, it just makes you wonder why the franchise did flop. That the first one was it the backlash from the fans of the books? Was it the the film didn't grab the audience then because of the story? Who knows? Or was it people wanted to go and watch the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit? Uh, but yeah, it's a weird one. This one because it's a great cast, and I know anything with Robert Carlyle in it, Susan will absolutely love. See what I mean? See what I mean? She's so biased.
I am. I'll admit it. You know, he's
Yeah.
fantastic.
So So anything what stands out for you in this movie?
Well,
Apart from the obvious.
apart from the obvious, like it was the music was amazing. I really like Patrick Doyle's soundtracks. He's done stuff for the Artemis Fowl series, for Whiskey Galore, which I loved, the Jack Ryan movie. He did the Rise of Planet of the Apes, and he did the Harry Potter and the Nancy McPhee soundtrack, and Secondhand Lions and Gosford Park. Gosford Park. He composed the music for that, and that was Donnie Brasco and Great Expectations, and one of my favorite versions of Sense and Sensibility with Alan Rickman in it, and Exit to Eden, which and Carlito's Way, and he's a great composer, and I love the works that he's worked on and stuff. So he's a I've got to tell you, both of these movies that we watched this weekend had amazing soundtracks. Like this one, was really captivating, and like even if it was shot in Slovakia or whatever, it still felt a bit like due to the soundtrack, like we were watching something shot in New Zealand or the Rocky Mountains, or somewhere truly epic. Sweetness, it was just glorious. Oh man, I loved it. And the other thing that I loved is I loved how beautiful that prop dinosaur, or excuse me, dragon egg was. I mean, it was like radiant, and there was depth in there, and you could tell that when the dragon was going to be born, that it was going to be something special. And so I didn't think the CGI was too bad, but I guess Lee did. So gonna I'm gonna kind of park my thoughts on that over on the side street for a second, because I really liked that. But the other thing that I liked is how they integrated sort of healing and stuff like that into it. I love that healing effect. That felt a lot like Stargate, a lot like some other brilliant works that I've enjoyed. Because the energy that was coming out was a different color to the energy of other things. That was fun. Yeah, I liked that about it. And the other thing that I liked about this is I liked the way that they staged the battles. The battles were staged not in lines, but in kind of swooping serpents of sort of lines of soldiers this way, where there's only two or one in a row, single file. unlike the other major battle scenes that you see where they are coming in lockstep in certain lines or whatever, some certain formations. I just think that this one was pretty great in the fact that they used some more guerrilla tactics, and that was kind of great. And the other thing that I liked is I love the smoke dragon and the fact that Durzo was riding a smoke dragon that he conjured by magic. Because if the first time you see it, you're not expecting that because you don't expect something to be generated out of nothingness. And so Dursla's smoke dragon was literally like the most surprising. It was like a big twist to the story, and that was fun. Go on, you were gonna say something.
I was going to say that the smoke dragon was far better for me CGI than the Eragon's dragon.
Oh, okay.
I really did like the smoke. That smoke dragon in that battle. The smoke dragon was tops for me. So you lose a bit here, but you gain a bit here.
Yeah.
But for me, yeah,
yeah, I really liked it, and I liked it because it surprised me. Because you didn't before you'd read the book, you didn't know that smoke dragon was ever gonna manifest or whatever, and you just were like, oh, that's a really cool effect and a really cool choice. There's a good job. And you don't root for the bad guys, but you do in a way, especially if they surprise you like that. Let's see, other things that are really, really stand out is the romance between Eragon and Arya. And I love that uh the guy who wrote Game of Thrones, uh, R something R anyway.
yes,
Him,
him.
yeah, he stole the name Arya from the son for the book.
Oh,
But it's a good name. It's a really good name. So anyway, it was their romance was sweet, and they didn't. I mean, it was like kind of lingered, but not really progressed very much. But yeah, and yep. So but I also like the Alan Armstrong. I like the what a father figure he was. He's
yeah.
a
I mean,
really great actor.
yeah, playing his uncle and say with his son going away before he gets called up to the army.
Yep.
I mean that storyline is just left up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nothing said anymore about Eragon's cousin wandering away.
Yep.
So you do get the feeling that this was setting up for a sequel,
Oh, sure.
but not to be. I don't know if there's any plans to reboot it or whatever, but I can understand why it flopped. If back then in 2006 it was up against Lord of the Rings franchise, Harry Potter franchise. I mean, if this was released at the same time as any of those movies, it didn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
But as I say, it's a fun watch. But I've got little little gripes here and there with it. But I did love the final battle with the smoke dragon. That was amazing to watch. To say to anything what Jeremy Irons is in as well, just to watch his performance. You know, I thought he was wasted in this, as was John Malkovich. But it was good to see them doing their stuff on screen. Yeah, I just don't. I'm going to struggle here with this one with the scoring, because I'm like that.
I know.
I enjoyed it, but got little gripes.
I know. Yeah, it's a little challenging to come up with a reasonable number, right?
It was, yeah. I'm not going to go too low. Yeah, well, not yet. Anyway, you never know. Anything else you want to say about this before I go to final say and score? Or
this was one of Robert Carlyle's first big movies, and I think he did really.
well, he was in big movies before this.
Yeah, right.
Train Spotting. Well, is not enough.
Yeah. All right. I just think that I'm really glad that intermixed with some of these bad characters, he's playing some good guys.
He did remind his makeup, his hair did remind me of Mr. Gold,
Rumpelstiltskin, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and he did the same sort of hair and makeup in Hamish Macbeth when he played the Beast and that. I just, it's weird.
Yeah,
but
every time he was on screen, yeah, I was thinking of Rumpelstiltskin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with the gold effect on the skin and
yeah,
the nails and the long hair.
I saw this one first, so I didn't really it's
He must have been making Once Upon a Time roughly around the same time as this movie.
Once Upon a Time was 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Started in 15, so this is that was 9 years later.
Well, yeah, so it's before, yeah.
So this one, like I said, this one was an earlier one, but you're right, it wasn't his first, but it was early.
Yeah, because The Beach was before this. And
yeah. So there are some other ones, but yeah, Plunkett and McLean.
He must have liked the long hair and the makeup to say, let's do Rumpelstiltskin like that.
But it also looked like the Beast that he played in Hamish Macbeth.
Yeah.
So there is like there is a character that he plays in Hamish that's I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
long ago.
Well, no, it's just hard to explain because it's like it's to do with a a bunch of churchy people that are trying to demand, religious indoctrination in the town of Lochduke, Scotland, and that didn't go over very well. And he plays a copper in that, and so he's actually considered the beast. And for one scene, he looks like he does as Jerza and Rumble and all these other characters all the way through. Like it's a through line, but he's just amazing like that. He can play bad guys so well. Oh my gosh, he's so amazing.
Oh my God.
Oh my god. Yeah, right.
Right then, in that case, let's. What would you score this then out of 10?
I'll give this a 9.5 out of 10. 0.5 magical spells from Jerza out of 10.
Oh dear me.
Yep. He's something else.
Well, I would. Yeah, there's a few gripes for me. I mean, it's a nice watch, it's a fun watch, but there is things in it what I wasn't quite happy with. So that note, 7.5.
Not very high.
7.5 dragon eggs out of 10 because it's still a fun watch. But it was just, for me personally, it was just the CGI dragon, the underuse of Malkovich, and so. But that's not down to us. We're just putting our things forward here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yes, it's down to other people to make their own mind up.
I know. That's
So,
true.
like these
we trust them.
you see,
We trust
if
those. There's the dragon.
I've got the DVD here. I've got the DVD here, and it's 7.5 for me. So I've still purchased it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all my money goes to these film companies. So yeah, you guys out there, if you've seen Eragon, if you've read the book franchise, let me know. Please leave a message below. What was so bad about the movie compared to the books? I'd like to know that because I've never ever read the books. Susan's already read one, is it? You said
only one.
Only one. So is the movie so completely different from the books? Is it? Was it released at the wrong time? Did it go up against, as I said, big Hollywood blockbusters? Leave comments below. Let us know. If you'd like to join us, leave a comment or get in touch with us. We're on all forms of social media. Facebook, YouTube, the recently deceased Twitter, which is now X. We're still on there. We're still clinging on to X now. Nothing's really changed there. It's still the same. But yeah, if you want to be part of the group, leave us a message. All we ask of you to be is 18 plus, because they say some things what we discuss are not PG rated. All you need is a microphone and a camera, laptop, PC, or a tablet, or even your mobile phone, and you're in. On the YouTube front, we release videos maybe 2 a week these days. So if you want to be notified, please press the bell notification button, and you'll be notified every time I put up a video. Is that everything, Susan?
Yeah, that is.
It is, yeah. Yeah. So now after this, I'm now going off to slay some smoke dragons, I think.